Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the new episode of the Chasing Growth podcast. Here is Matteo.
And here's Sasha, and today we are talking about emotions.
And oh, yes, this topic is incredible. And today's speech and conversation was great, in my opinion. You can take so much out of it for one single reason. Like, emotions are what will define your uh, beautiful or eventually terrible lifetime. It is like that because, like, you can say I'm happy, you can say I'm sad, and these are emotions. But then eventually, and you will discover it in the podcast, there is something behind that for which you can control emotions. So enjoy that.
Hello, my friend, and welcome to a new episode. And this episode, I think, is so good because we are talking about how emotions destroy our business and maybe also our life, and how we are controlled by our life. And I think this is a great topic because it's so important to talk about this, because in my life and in my past, my emotions destroyed so many good things, destroyed so many good moments. And looking backwards, I think, oh, it was not worth to think about it like that.
Okay, hello, my friend. Hello, my brother. It's amazing to see you always in great shape, first of all. And yes, you said it right. What I think now, like getting into this incredible topic of emotion in general, I think like you said it for yourself, but I think there is no person, like generally speaking, they wouldn't think, oh my god, emotions fuck me up so many times that it's obvious. Like I think that everybody has this kind of thought. I think you that you're listening right now, you're having this thought of like, yeah, I should have controlled better the emotion in these exact situation or in these other situations. And and now today, like getting to the point, and I love this topic because actually I have so many things that I say, oh my god, how bad I managed the situation here. But business and emotions is crazy. So like many times I would say like emotions in general are super important. Like of course that, like, we are human because we have emotions. uh but but not most of the time, but like often you should kind of try not to add them. Like we could say almost like to get to the point in which you say you make actually the right choice. And that's crazy. Like I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I think there's some misconceptions outside about emotions. That there are two things. There are no good or bad emotions, they're just emotions, and this
Yeah,
is how we trade
makes
them.
sense.
And the other thing for business, I think everybody should understand, your business should not depend on your emotions, because
Oh yeah.
if you just do the things when you feel like doing it, it's like training. It's like fucking training, sorry for that word. um to If you just say, oh, today I feel like training, it never will work. It's the same, like
Yeah.
for me, it's like so many times, this is why I love our 365 challenge. So many
Oh
times I
yeah.
say, oh, I don't want to do this. And while doing it, it starts to, yeah, okay, good. So I just do some parts, and then I'm in the training and they, okay, maybe one set more. So I think these are two misconceptions. And first of all, I think we should make aware, uh, where did you really, or when did you really fucked it up with your emotions? You have
So
something.
first of all, like the 2 points that you just listed are great because it is like that. And I really see that emotions, I see, and but it's a fact that emotions are the first. I'm sorry that my language is not that clear, but it's that it's it's like it's the first reason for like business fuck ups, literally, like, or better saying, for entrepreneurs that literally abandon, that give up. Okay, they're on their dreams or on their children, where children means their own companies, or their own whatever businesses they have, or they're trying to build. Because if you actually, as you said, if you give like that much space to your emotions is there where your incredible roller coasters starts, right? You literally start getting yourself in an endless roller coaster where one day you are super hyped. Today is the day. Come on, we're gonna do great things. I'm gonna make billions and this
Oh
and that.
yeah.
And then the next day you are, oh my god, everything is shitty. I'm never gonna make it, and this and that and that. And then the next day it's better, but then it's worse. Then it's better, and it's worse. And that is for sure the first reason for which people give up, like this instability, which comes from literally getting the emotions in a quote unquote the wrong way, treating or like letting trespass the emotions to like end the business, as you just said. And that's this is actually the most important thing that I would say, because it's not that you have to completely detach emotion in business, because it's something you can't do actually, no, because like business at the end, like it becomes not just part of your business. If you are obsessed, if you are building something great, if you want to get to high levels, like the business, your work or whatever, like it's pretty much a big part of your life. So living out emotions is like you become, like you dehumanize yourself, which is something you cannot do. But it's about getting to a point in which your choices, business choices, like personal life choices, etc., are not dictated by emotions, but by facts. So like it's kind of, well, this is my perspective. It's kind of becoming more analytic, which is I think what I did in the time. I don't know. What do you see about this perspective?
I don't know if I would call it facts. There are two sorts of mine. The first thing is there are always good and bad emotions, or they're just emotions. And 50% of the time we're feeling good, and 50% of the time we're feeling bad. And we can't change about it. But the thing is, where do we look and where we put more attention of it? And then I like this kind of, it's called the model from Brooke Castillo. She says, we have at the beginning, we have circumstances, and every circumstances triggers some thoughts, and every thought is producing a feeling or an emotion. And this is pretty the most important part. And then out of the feeling, we generate action, and this action causes results, and these results are the evidence why our thought is right. And this is the interesting part where I also, and this model helps me a little bit to not so often fuck it up, that every emotion is caused by a thought. And if you start feeling an emotion, you can ask yourself, or I am asked myself, what is the thought I'm thinking? And then I think two things happen. Most of the people are afraid of bad feelings and trying to put them down, put it away instead of let the emotion go through this curve. So process the emotion. And this is sometimes hard and not nice, but if you just let it be there and you can process the emotion, then it can go away. And in fitness and in weight loss, so many people have bad emotions and they try to overcome this emotion with drinking, with eating, and all the stuff like that. So we always try to avoid bad feelings. And this is the biggest problem. We should face the unlikely emotion and realize we don't die. And this is one of the biggest thing I realized, that there are so many things happened in my life and say, oh my God, it won't be any better. So I'm very bad in, if something personal happens, like something emotional to another person, where I have some expectations, and the expectation would not be replied the way I wanted to have, because sometimes I would love to have the things exactly like it is like that. And then I suffer because things turned out different. And yeah, that is where I really had my biggest problems. And then it affected my business, so that I did not do the things I should do. And there, I think the facts come in. You don't have to ask, what should I do today? What I'm feeling. It's more like, what has to be done.
There you are.
And there, I'm totally with you. Going back to the facts and say, okay, I don't have to feel good to make the call. It might be better if I feel good, but even if I start doing the call, I start changing my focus on other things and the things I can control. And this is the thing I like. And I would get as a tip. If you are unhappy and a bad emotion, write everything down which makes this emotion, and then cut out all the things you can't control and work on the things you can control. And then you are back into the game.
Yeah, liked it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like you said, like a few different things that that I loved it. So first of all, yeah, it's exactly like that. And thank you for the tips, by the way. That's super important. Like the fact that you give out somehow the thoughts and the emotion by writing it down. That's it is like that. It is like that. Actually, I implemented myself as an habit, the fact of writing down what are the thoughts, what happened in the day, and stuff like that, and that for sure helped me, and something that I'm doing on a daily basis. So what I loved about what you just said, so first of all, like the thoughts that triggers the emotion. So it starts everything. So it begins everything from the thoughts, and it is from the thought, and it is like that. It is absolutely like that. And so basically, you are saying implicitly that you have control on your emotions because it comes from the thought, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
means that you can decide if you have, like, if the thought, then for you, like, you get it positive or you get it negative. That's another that's another complete topic. But if you think about it, then you can always see the positive in the things, right? Because like either you learn or you earn, right? Or either you learn learn or you win, right? So and uh, so that's the first step that on what you just said that I loved. And my analytical point of view would repercore. And so basically, yeah, we can control that. And after that, another important thing that you mentioned is the fact that um, it like you said, for example, you don't have to feel good, to make the call, right? Like and that's of course like controlling the thoughts. Okay, like, oh my god, I don't want to jump on the god, I don't want to record this podcast. Why again? My god. So how can I push myself to do so? But you know what's the right thing, right? And that's the thought. And then the emotion is, oh my god, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to do it now. I don't want to record this podcast. And um, so back again, you can control it. And now I want to put in some of like one story of mine and coming to the business. Because on an everyday basis and on everyday habits, which is super important, because like basically you make choices every day. It's exactly as you said, and I again, I love what you said. Now, when you are facing some important choices, so for example, you have to do, like, now business wise, for example, why traders or investors are the ones that there are so many books or so many courses or whatever, like about mastering emotions, and then related to investing, related to trading, etc., etc. Because like you are there and you see your money like literally like losing 90% of your assets like right away, and you have to be cold-blooded and go on and do the right choice, etc., etc. So getting to my experience, I a few years ago, at the very beginning, like, yeah, the beginning and part of my company, in building my company, I literally received, I was scammed. So I received some lingots, but instead of being lingots of gold, uh, and this story is super funny. Well, it's funny now, like, but like, then I'll get back to what you said. It's funny now, but at the point, it was, I received this gold, which was not gold, it was iron. And at that point, it was, oh my God, my life is done. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
done. As you said, like, and this is the other point that I wanted to touch. Uh, like we like at that exact moment, we say, "Oh my God, I'm done. I'm dead." That's the worst thing that could have happened.
mm,
And then, like, if you see it afterwards, after some time, the time passes and stuff, you say, "Oh my God, I could have managed that situation so much better if I had clear thoughts." Because emotions were at that point eating you alive somehow. And that's, for example, something that happened to me. So I received this gold, which was not gold. I was scammed. Like, there was a loss of more than $160,000. It was just a few lingots. And so, like, the first thing that I do, it was kind of try to think, try to stay on the right, because I've always been pretty analytical, but I see that this helped me a lot, and this thing that, like, literally let me learn a lot, a lot, a lot. And the first thing is calling, like, my associate at the time, like, well, Uri. Hey buddy, how are you? How are you feeling?
yeah,
What are your thoughts? So you start basically trying to get something from the outside, and then it is not always good. It is not always good, because, like, apart from, like, who is the person, who is not, that is giving you suggestion or whatever, like, most of the times when something very hard, very, like, strong happens, maybe you should internalize everything, doing nothing. Like, that's the other thing, like, getting, actually taking the step, making the choice when you are in a blast of emotions is the worst thing that you can do.
yeah, yeah.
And then you will tell me what you think, but, like, let me finish with this story, because it's pretty funny. So we are having this 160 plus k loss literally right away. And I called Uri. We have this conversation. I'm completely destroyed, because, like, we have money of investors in the company. Oh my God, this is a problem. Okay, we have this plan. Is everything, like, it's going great? We are growing, etc., etc., etc. That's, like, a very good, like, slap in the face. Hey, this word is real. Like, it's not a game. And I take a plane the day after. I get back to Africa. And in my mind, I wanted to solve the situation. Oh my God, I won't go into details, but like, I would have put it myself, like, I put it myself in risking my life in doing what I did, just because I was literally into an emotional state that I was everything but controlling. So I just love what you said, and in giving this, I want to say again that yeah, first of all, we can control emotions, and that's what you have to think, because you can control your thoughts. But apart from that, the first thing that now I think, whatever is that, like, I'm not going to die. If this is happening, okay, like, eventually it will turn out good, because either you learn or you win. So, like, if that it's a failure or whatever, you're learning something. So that's my point of view now. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, we have to go deeper into your story and life experience, because you have so many interesting things about that. Yeah, I think that is the thing everyone or everybody should take out of it, and realize, in the retro perspective, when you think about it, I didn't die, but in the moment it feels like the worst thing ever could happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm bad in breaking ups or something like that. Then I try to analyze it and to understand, and then I say, oh my God, my life will never be great again. And the funny thing is, and sometimes later you fall in love with the new one and suddenly find out it's so much better. Holy shit, what I was thinking. I was so stupid. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
horrible when you get emotional addicted to someone or something, and then you're really screwed. And that should be some warning signs for you that something is not correct, because I think you're losing yourself. And that can be in business, that can be in relationships. And this is, if you got, yeah, emotional connected to someone or addicted, it's highly risky. And in business, it's the same. That, yeah, your emotions should be, like you said, that's really great. Not the thing. If you're in a high emotional state, you should not do any decisions or something like that, because most of the time they are pretty stupid. And yeah, and I like, there's a cool video from Jacko Willow, Willow, I think his name, where it's called Good. So because every time something bad happens, he says good. And I love this because next time, if you expected to meet someone and he cancel the date, then just don't say, oh no, I'm not good enough for maybe blah 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 blah. No, maybe something bad happened, so we don't know it. We put so many things into it, but we don't know the backstory. But we could look at our and say, good, so I have more time to do more TikToks. Good, I have to maybe call a friend I for a long time I didn't call. Maybe I can visit my parents. Maybe I can read a book, or maybe I can do some self-care and just enjoy me and my life. And this is thing we should not forget. But I want to know, because you said that helps you a lot. How do you do the writing, the journaling with if you are emotional trapped? Because I think that could be pretty strong to get it out of your head if you start writing it down. Because I heard that it's really good to do some kind of thought process. And if you write it down, you have to get emotions in a logical way, because then you have to, how can I bring out my emotions? But sometimes it's hard to touch. But if you have to put it in words, you can
Yeah,
be more
you have to
specific and say,
exactly.
I feel sad. Is it really sad? No, it's
Yeah,
some kind of angry,
yeah,
sad, blah, blah.
yeah,
So I think that helps to clarify. And even I like the personal stuff and or the body stuff, to think about, where is this emotion in my body?
yeah,
How does it feel right now? And how is it to just let it be there, to just feel it in the body and be aware of this feeling?
yeah,
And even that just helps. And like the Buddhists say, always try to name it, to label it, so it's not so a fork thing where you
yeah.
say, I just feel horrible. No, try to make it very clear, what
Yeah,
exactly are
specific.
you feeling.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
how do you do the journaling on this emotion
So,
stuff?
so yeah. First of all, I always start my day by putting that down like three things I'm grateful for. Like it has to be three things. I'm for sure grateful for at least three things.
Hmm.
And do I end the day by saying, "Hey, I'm happy because this and this and this happened. I'm grateful for whatever. I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling fucking frustrated because this and this and this because like these things doesn't go on." But as you said, there is very important thing in journaling that actually helped me. The fact that like you have thoughts, right, and you say, "I'm frustrated. I'm happy. I'm hungry. I'm whatever," right? But then when you have to put it down, when you have to write them, like when you have to write your thought, it changes
Mm.
because then you question yourself. Oh, like in writing you have to structure it, right? So you start actually giving it, as you said, like somehow a name of what you're actually feeling, right? What you're experiencing in yourself. So somehow it's a way to analyze your own thoughts or your own emotions. That then, like on this side, I would say, so your emotion, what you think that are your emotions, and basically getting back to the thoughts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, great.
So
Yeah.
then you actually, like, I write down the things that I think, but like I always see that there is a moment I take at least a good 10-15 minutes to do so. And like generally I really always realize that what I thought at the beginning, it changes. And there is another very why you laugh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because so I think there I can catch myself 100 times that I
oh yeah,
think something, and of course I have some expectation, and then it
yeah,
turns out different. But then after some clarification, it turns out that it's not like I thought it would be. So
of
I
course,
feel like, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe, okay, yeah. I was a little bit dramatic, too much drama I made out of my
yeah,
thoughts.
yeah, it is like that. It's literally that. And I think that, like, if you start doing that, like the thing of kind of even forcing yourself at the beginning, it didn't come naturally. It was actually very I had to stay there and thinking and thinking and thinking, and maybe it wasn't accurate what I was writing. The thing, like, as I told you, and you know that I think that I'm pretty analytical, and I'm becoming always more that way. And I got back always even the day after. I passed a moment in which I was pretty frustrated for different things, mostly business wise. I didn't have the growth that I wanted. I didn't have the right inputs, the right fire, the right obsession. Like I wanted to go. We always say that and joke about it, beast mode, etc. And I didn't have that. That's something that would have fired me up, or like I couldn't fire myself up, and etc. 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 So I would have gone back reading what I wrote the
Yeah,
day
yeah, yeah.
before, and at the beginning I realized that many things were not accurate at all. Like I was seeing myself being quote unquote fake to myself,
Mm-hmm.
and step by step I realized that I was actually structuring more better and better my thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and my emotions. So eventually, um, and so as everything is training. Like my personal experience in this is that I like, yes, it is helping me, not just putting it out, because the putting it out is maybe it's not enough. I think that putting it out, it means that you actually name it, like structure it, and you realize that is most likely and most of the times just different than how you thought. And I'm not saying that is a worse or better, because like then it depends. It can be worse, it can be better, whatever it is. Like then you can always see the positive things but you can start examining it actually, and eventually like getting like going around the problem or the issue and facing it and tackling it for good.
Yeah, yeah. So we have different things. So first of all, we come together that emotion can ruin your whole life, and on the other thing is, good emotion can make you feel like the world is the greatest of everything. And there, it's interesting that the one thought is, see it like a roller coaster. Nobody likes a flat roller coaster, so we want
Yeah,
to have some ups and down. But I think the the interesting part is, what if we have a good emotion, we try to bring ourselves a little bit down, because the thing is, all things will pass, or all things will go by. So in that case, we can be thankful and grateful, and be aware that this good feeling will not last forever. And it's
yeah,
good, because I think the most important part is pain, because I think pain makes us move. And on the other hand, next time when you are in pain, you can go a little bit more up, because this will pass. Like you said, we won't die. And not to avoid this kind of emotion and going back, oh, let the emotion just be there and not trigger yourself and distract yourself. And I think the emotion is not the problem. It's more like the thought of yourself, how you should feel and how your life should be and how you should be.
Yeah.
But if you
Oh,
just
yeah.
say, oh, at the moment, I'm just sad. Let me be sad. And I'm sure that if you, and when I start doing that, and just let it be like that, and don't try to change anything, not for a long time, but even for 5 minutes, suddenly the sadness is not so hard anymore. And then I can go on and say, okay, what made me sad? This kind of thought. Why did I thought that? Why
Yeah.
would I think that? And what can I do now? And then I start getting into actions. And I think action is the antidote of bad emotions.
Absolutely, 100%.
So
What you
this
just
is
said is super important.
why I like your journaling stuff, because you could put it out and said, if I don't come out of this emotion, then I can't do anything else. So I think the worst thing is try to avoid it with, oh, then I do Netflix and chill, but that
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
make
yeah.
me happy. Or then I go eat something, or then I go watch some porns or masturbate or something like that, but it won't go away. Instead of, if you really care of your life, you could sit down and say, okay, let's write it down. And then maybe you find out, if it don't matters in 5 years, it's not worth to invest more than
There you
5
are.
minutes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so
Let me
what?
tell you, like,
Yes, tell me.
let me tell you, like, why I start journaling, because that's the other thing. Now you said like something super important, and we get back to what we said, and I think that it's even the message that I would love to give to myself first, and it was, I think, life-changing thought
Yeah.
and fact, I would even say.
Okay.
The fact that you can control your emotions. It is like that. Okay, control your emotions. Well, not 100% of the times, okay, but most of the times, because you can control your thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm right with you. If you said, I would say I can't control my emotions, but I can't control my thoughts, and they create the
Exactly.
emotion. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm
There
with
we are.
you.
Yeah. So
I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So because you can control your thoughts. So in my personal development journey, it happens that I was stuck at a point, and I was frustrated for being stuck at that point. It was a few years ago. It was for the company. Actually, we were growing and stuff, but like most likely there with my personal life linked to the work life, to the professional life. Like I had issues that I wanted to solve, and I was reading at the time. I read like it's about it's like it's not you pushing more, doing more, whatever. It's about like then it's a change of perspective, like to do something to actually then like can change something, a change of perspective, a change of mindset. Okay, and why do I say so? Because of course then mindset, it's super connected to thoughts, because the thoughts, as I said before, um like you have thoughts, you have millions of thoughts per day, and then you can decide what to do with them, which one to grab, which one to give more importance and less importance to, and what kind of importance, negative one, positive one, what is the outcome that you let your thought give, which is basically then at the end the emotion. So I started journaling because of this. I wanted to do this shift of mindset.
Yeah.
And I got to a point. I was reading at the time the fact that you can control your emotion through the thoughts. I said, okay, let's see. So like I read that the journaling stuff could have been a thing. but it's not because actually I read it, but it's because I said I want to understand like my thought process, and how I can actually shift it to and do this elevate myself and do this shift of mindset.
Yeah, cool.
That was the thing. So I started like, and I have to be very honest with you. I got to a point it's pretty like it's quite a time that I'm doing that. But at the very beginning I was super inconsistent like with that, super inconsistent with that, because I don't see that you actually start seeing results, quote unquote results right away, but it's a path where you have to it's out analyzation, and it's you really want to have a you really need to have and want enough the like your growth, and eventually you have to have a clear goal. So what's your goal? Why are you like trying to do so? So I wanted to have this changes perspective, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that this could have helped me. And now like it became an habit that actually let me understand myself more. It's even like a self-study, like yeah, I'm understanding myself more, and that's super important to get eventually to the point where you feel at least satisfied with the person you are and you're becoming.
Absolutely. I think that is a lot of stuff everyone could take out of this podcast. I love this the thing. I have to be honest. I don't journal very consistent way, but I will have a look at it, because I always come back to journaling. I always come back, and the interesting thing is, on the other hand, if I have some ideas, I always have to write them down. And
Mhm.
an important part is I always write them down by hand, because I heard that's a different emotion if you write it by hand instead of on the computer, because on the computer it's more logically and you don't need so much muscles, and if you do it with handwriting, it's much deeper connected to emotions and your brain and stuff like that. So I think you journaling also by
Yeah,
by
yeah, we don't.
handwriting, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't write these things on notes or stuff like that. No, I don't. Yeah.
Cool. So thank you, Matteo, for these great insights and some personal stories of your. And I think everyone who listened to this podcast will say, "Oh yeah, I have to work on my emotions. I have to now some tools. What I can do to make this and my life greater, because our intention is to help so many people and to give some insights which helps us, because it's all about growing and all about growth. And so we hope you like this podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend. Thank you always for the incredible insights and for your wisdom. And it's not because of the years, but it's because of the intensity you lived. Don't laugh like that. It's because of the intensity, and you always show that. I really appreciate always like every talk that we have, and I'm sure that you on the other side, you're enjoying that.
Yes, well, thank you. And the crazy part is you have so many stories to tell, because you are so fucking young and already had so many things and experienced so many different stuff. So I'm really looking forward for the next episodes and your stories, because I love them all, and it just sees what kind of personality you are. So thank you for that, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you want to help us, just share this podcast with other people, rate them. We love to have a review on this. You can also write us on Instagram. You can see our Instagram, or you can also watch the video on YouTube. And with that, everything said, we see at the next podcast, and have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.